2 hours.
All right, I'm Jenny. I got voted off on the first week, so if you didn't see the first episode, you have no idea who I am.
Hey, I never uncovered my butt. I didn't vote for you.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I know, I didn't go there.
No one here voted for me. They're all my friends still. No, everybody's friends. So basically, my journey started, well, in May was my dad's birthday. My dad being 400, and I think he was 420 some pounds when we went to the open casting call. But in May, he had a big 60-year-old birthday party at this restaurant, and he was eating massive amounts of food. And my older brother and I were sitting at the end of the table. My dad announces that he's going to do this Cleveland Clinic diet where he goes and gets this packaged food every day, and goes down and works out every day. I literally spit my wine out of my nose, and I said, "You're never going to do that." And I bet my older brother $500 that he would not do it. Well, sure enough, he didn't do it, and of course my brother didn't pay me. But because it was a stupid bet for him to take. So, but I started to get worried about my dad because, you know, my older brother had his wife had just had a baby, so he just became a grandfather. He was 60 years old at 400 plus pounds. He was working every day, still installing blinds, going up and down ladders, taking heavy boxes up. So, like, it's only a matter of time before he's going to drop dead. And I don't want that. I don't want to lose my dad. I don't want to lose my dad before I can get married. I don't want to lose my dad before I can have a baby. I don't want to lose my dad. So I'm doing something in August in my house, and I've got the news on, which I TiVo everything, so I never have the news on. So this is kind of weird, but I hear, don't forget we have the open casting call this Saturday for The Biggest Loser. I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to go to that. And it says, don't forget to bring your partner, and, you know, fat couples. I'm like, oh. I did not go, not fat, because everyone I know is fat. So I was like, oh, I better call my dad, who was in Vegas at the time, probably with, you know, a giant prime rib in one hand and a cocktail in the other. So I called him and I said, what do you think about trying out for The Biggest Loser? And since he had never seen the show, he's like, sure, I don't care, but okay. So we went, he came home from Vegas, and 2 days later we were standing in line at this open casting call. It was nice just to spend time with my dad. With me having an older and a younger brother, he doesn't really know what to do with me. So we went, and they were very interested. It was funny because you stand in this long line, you fill out this paperwork, blah, 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 bring in pictures of each other. When you go in, they have in my situation, they had this fee table. They bring 10 people in at a time. And everybody that we were with, they were not interested in. And this guy DJ, who was the casting rep, had come in and he immediately turned our things around. My dad's hitting me under the table. He's like, they want us, they want us. I'm like, this is step one in like a 30-step process, so just relax, big guy. So he's like, so they gave us a card. The next day we had to go to another, or 2 days later we had to go to another casting call, and the ball just started rolling from there. And of course, we're fattening up. We're eating pizza, we're eating fried chicken. We're like, yeah, the party time is almost over. You know? We had a big party right before we left for finals week, which was, you know, 7 days of being locked in a hotel room with my dad. When I say locked, we were locked. We didn't even have a key. You could not leave the room.
Not even go down the hall to get ice.
Right. You had to call down, I get ice, they come up, they walk you down, or they take your ice bucket, so you don't leave. So we learned a lot about each other in that week because we hadn't lived with each other in, I don't know, 15 years. So.
Now they don't talk. No.
No, we still talk. So basically we got on the show, and my dad's so excited. He's calling everybody, we got on the show, you know. And I'm like, you do realize that they are going to really beat us up the very first day. He's like, no, they're going to work us into it. I'm like, no, that's not what's going to happen. No. And he was really shocked. I mean, he was like, whoa. You know? And as you can see, if you did watch the first episode, there was a lot of drama between the two of us because he didn't want to be there, and he made that very clear to everyone here. That's why it was easy to vote us off, because I don't think my will to be there was, you know, my will to be there was evident. Right, but his will, he was like, send me home. So anyway, I was there for a week, and when they talk about not having internet, television, distractions, I had all of that. I had the internet. I didn't have a job, so I was a little bit depressed because my savings account was getting less and less and less, because I quit my job to go on the show. That's why I was so upset that 7 days later I was back home and I had nothing. And I had to pay my rent, I had to pay my car payment. All that stuff was going to be taken care of when I was on the show. So I didn't have a trainer, and I knew that I had to work really hard because I had a finale to go to. That wasn't the end for me. So I guess I can relate more to somebody wanting to do this body challenge because I did it at home. And what Jen said was about having a team that knows you, because your weight is more than food. It's something else. And mine was being anxious and eating because that made me feel better. Not because I was sad, it's just that, well, like Bernie said, I could eat the hell out of $1 menu. It's only $1, so load me up on $10. And I was eating, I didn't even know how many calories I was supposed to be eating, so I'm like, oh, 8,000 calories? That's not too bad, right? I really didn't think it was. And that's why when I watched, my boyfriend and I were watching the Oprah show, when Roger showed all the stuff, he's like, man, he could eat that much. I'm like, I was eating that much. And it's like, I was really embarrassed. Like, people would get in my car and be like, oh, just don't mind the McDonald's bags. There's like 30 of them in the back seat. And they're big bags, not the small snack size bags, as I call them. Fill it up with fries, So, but I drank my calories. I had probably 3 large Cokes a day. I was, a typical day was I ran to McDonald's and got 2 sandwiches, 3 or 4 hash browns, a large orange juice, a large hot chocolate. And then I would go to work. Since I was a nanny, I would eat pancakes and sausage with the kids before I took them to school. And then I'd go home and work for a little while, not eat for like 2 hours. And then I'd pick them back up and I'd get a Whopper with cheese, with extra mayo, of course, because they never put enough mayo on. And a chicken sandwich with cheese with no lettuce, because why messy it up with the lettuce, And a large Coke. And then for dinner, it was, I have this road on my street this road in my town that I call it Fast Food Avenue, because it's every fast food place you've ever wanted in your whole life, all on this, like, a mile street. So I just go, oh, I had Arby's last night and Rally's the day before, and, oh, I guess I'll have Burger King again tonight, So, and since no one saw me eating it, like, what was the difference, So, but everyone saw my butt getting bigger, and, and I kind of made it like I was kind of like a drug addict, and the food was my drug. So, you wouldn't let somebody, sniff a bunch of cocaine in front of you, but it's okay if they just eat themselves to death, and that's basically what I was doing. And so when I got home, I had Fast Food Avenue still, that I had to drive past to go to the gym. And when I went to the gym, it was all, really nice bodies and intimidating people and people who knew what they were doing on the machines. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I had only had a week of training, which, and as much as it wasn't beginner stuff, but it was beginner stuff. And when Jen got eliminated and I started talking to Jen, I was like, she's like, you don't know about high calorie day? I'm like, no. Why would I be eating high calories when I'm trying to lose weight? And she's like, well, this would break your plateau. And actually, Viola helped me some in January, and I'm crying on the phone to Jen every day. I'm not losing weight. What's happening? So, but the best thing about this body challenge is that you get the trainers to say, and I'm really having a hard time at work, and that, that's making me want to eat, and, they can help you work through that as well as, the food and the exercise. It's always nice to have a professional tell you how to do things, and they're going to have your best interest for your personalized workout.
And accountability.
And accountability too.